Hello, Rose. Rose, you're such a champ. You have so much faith in me. You know, hi, my name is Lucinda. I have to say that I think it's one time out of 7 that I'm actually exactly on time. And so why is that? Let's just deviate and discuss that for a minute. Well, it's because I've had chronic pain for over 25 years. And now I have this back thing going on that affects my back, my knees. So I've got my upper body. Then now I've got from my lower back, hips, down my legs stuff. So what does that matter? I'm sitting in a chair. Who cares, right? Okay, that's true. But I have been many things in my life. And you will notice if you ever get an email from me, one of the things I have been is head of the adult department as an independent living instructor at the Center for Independent Living, the first one ever created in Berkeley, California. Very proud of that. And so this is just a total deviation, but here it is. Before I start the sale, I have a lot of great stuff. Thank you, Rose. After the first 3 years of pain where I couldn't move off the couch, I started reading a lot and I started looking at blogs because there wasn't a lot known about fibromyalgia back when I got it. It was very like, woo woo, go make your husband a good dinner and it'll all go away kind of thing. So I realized that I needed to change how I do things. And so one of the things that became is the minute I see something that needs to go back in its place, or if I'm going to be tired and I know it in advance, make the dinner early in the afternoon, plan this day, then that means tomorrow I can't do anything. So it's a little OCD, and it makes me late. However, when I show up for my sale, when I show up to a doctor's appointment, when I show up to the grocery store, whatever, everything else has been taken care of so that I can just do my thing and go rest when I'm done at the end of whatever it is. So that is why I'm late. Yeah, fact. So, hi, Rose. How are you? I'm feeling, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be doing my Friday sale. I'm hoping people show up. And anyone who comes here on a regular basis knows that I'm always late. It's been that way for 2 years. I think I tended to show up a little sooner. I usually am not 20 minutes late. I'm usually like 10. I think the main times in which I was right on time was while I was taking care of my dad. And even then, something could happen with him at the last minute. And, there you go. So my dog and cat are getting into it back there. They always want to start doing something, playing with each other. They play with each other, the dog and the cat. They're like best friends. And the minute my attention is taken away from them, even though if I'm not in here, I'd just be sitting in a chair, they start playing with each other, kind of like, pay attention. Thank you, Rose. Okay, well, there's Roses in here. Now, this may be a thing, Rose. How are you, Rose? Having silly fun, Rose. How are you tonight? How are you doing specifically? I was a little concerned. Friday nights are always a little harder. I think that might be a little bit of why I show up late, but honestly, earlier or later, it doesn't make any difference. Friday, Saturday, Sundays are like packed with people. I'm hoping that more people show up because I have a lot of really cool vintage and antique stuff to show tonight. And we'll see how much I get through. But I mean, I brought it, so we'll see what happens. Yes, Rose, we are every day blessed. 100%. I every day count my blessings. Yep. Yeah. So I'm Lucinda. This is Friday where I kind of do a little slower chat and offer up an item. I have more Jabbit pins tonight. I have, brooches. I have a random squash blossom, vintage to, I can't say it's antique because, I don't know, but it's sterling silver and turquoise. It's at least from the 60s or 70s. It might be signed. I have a ton of brooches. I have earrings. I have necklaces. Yeah, I do. I live in and ship from Northern California. I bill through PayPal and I ship using Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship saves about a third on shipping. Right now, 'tis the holiday season, so it's more expensive because I guess they're just overwhelmed. If I think they would be grateful to be overwhelmed and have more business, but instead they raised the price on us. So I usually do 2-week build-a-box to save me time on invoicing and packing, to save you money on shipping because you can fit more items in the small boxes, over a 2-week period. This is the end of week 1. That said, if someone purchases tonight and they want it to be there by the holidays, you need to drop me an email and let me know or tell me in the comments, and I will get your invoice out tomorrow as long as you pay it by Monday morning. I can have things shipped out Tuesday or Wednesday. So that would be the 9th or the 10th. So you would get it no problem unless the USPS just totally screws up, which is not within my control. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get started. If I don't know you, hi. I'd like to get to know you. If you purchase tonight, I need your YouTube name, your real name, with shipping address, with zip code, all on one line if you can. The YouTube, and then your name and shipping and zip code on another line down here. And then your PayPal email address. If you don't have PayPal and you want to check out as a guest, you can do that. Just because we're billing through PayPal doesn't mean that you have to be a member of PayPal. Okay, trust me. All right. So, fingers ready. Back hurts. Shoulders hurt. Stretch. Let's see what happens. I hope everyone is having a good Friday evening. Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm already bouncing myself out of the chat. Definitely not uncommon for me. What the heck is up with that? Honest to God. Okay. This starts at 19. And it's just adorable. I mean, adorable is the wrong word. It's kind of regal. It's really sweet. Here is the back. Let's bump that up a little. Here is the back. And I can, I can feel this and I can tell by the back, you see the orange and the white. I'm pretty sure. And then the edge there, it's a little wavy. I'm pretty sure this is actually real shell cameo brooch. You see how it's also like translucent? I put my nail behind there. So they made these in plastics. They made these in stone, but they also made these using a certain shell, primarily from Africa. In another sign of cameos. Now, is she backwards facing to the right? Is it facing to the right or facing to the left? I always forget that. I think she's facing the correct way. She also has orange shell in her hair. There you go. That's another way you can tell it's not acrylic. It's the shell coming through. I'm 90% positive this is shell. This is not real gold. At least it doesn't say so. And so I don't, the quality of what's surrounding it with no markings doesn't look like that. But it's a really fine example of a little brooch. It also has the traditional Greco-Roman nose, which dates this to be a little older. It's probably, older as in 70s. I really don't think this is, old, like antique, but it is a nice specimen. The light is definitely blowing it out a little bit. My apologies. And I like this metal work, although it does look to be more stamp work than cut. That also gives me a clue. Some stamped out metal was done at the turn of the century, but it would be more common to find that in the 70s, 80s, as opposed to hand filigreed. Okay, so that started at 19. Thank you for looking. I appreciate it. I do not do recaps, and I try to move a little faster on Fridays than I used to. So if there's something you wind up seeing and you're interested in it, you need to let me know by going back to the beginning or watching on the replay and sending me an email. And drop the name of the item in. Ask me if it's sold. Okay, so I have some really pretty necklaces. Let's see what y'all think. This one's going to start at $35. This is really interesting to me. Let me take the glass bead off. I want to do this one first. Tug, you and Maggie, stop that. I'm talking to my dogs. This one's really interesting. It's on Dolly. Say hello, Dolly. One of my helpers. So it has that iconic chain. I'll take it off Dolly in a minute. Has this fleur-de-lis. See this? I call it key. I'm not sure that is the right name for it at all. It's probably not. It's something I made up. And then at the bottom, it's like a lariat. At the bottom are these incredible hanging pieces. So let me take this off and show you what I have going on here. I love this piece. This is definitely older. So first off, the metal hanging pieces have cutouts right here. but that is not a rhinestone. It is simply metal. Raised. Here's the back. So both the front and the back poke up or poke out. So there's quite a bit of weight. It looks like sterling silver, but I do not believe that it is. I know where I got it from, and I do not think so. So here's how it goes up to the top. Here is the clasp, your basic jump ring. There is no maker here. The only thing there is, and then I'll show you what's so cool about this. The only thing there is back here, I spent an enormous amount of time trying to decipher this. The only thing that made any sense to me finally was patent pending. PATPEND. The only thing. And the way that this works, so this is for a man or a woman as far as I'm concerned. The way this works, it's a lariat necklace. Hold on. Even though it has that chain up there, I don't know why, is you can pull up like that and have it off-centered, or pull back down. So therefore, you can also have this piece as high up or as low down as you like. I think it's fabulous. Hi, Maria. How are you? What's going on with you? I hope you're having a great evening. I am tardy. I am always tardy to my party. 14. It is about 14. Let me just finish that math with my paint. 17. 32 inches long altogether. So it's nice and long. Nice and long. And it's stunning. I've never seen a piece like this. The fleur-de-lis pattern and this incredible chain, really thick like this, being vintage and having no damage whatsoever, really, this is probably from the 60s. And I've never seen a piece like this. So think about it. Starts at 35. And I am going to put it in a bag and set it to the side. Yeah, I can relate. I have had a long day only in terms of doing things around the house and trying to take care of a few things and not getting to everything I need to, Maria, at all. I seem to never, I don't know, when we were younger, at least me, when I was younger, I feel like I did 30 things in a day. No problem. And now, if I can do like 7 things, that's a freaking amazing. 4 is fantastic. Maybe that's just me, but man alive, it's like, what happens as we age? I mean, we age, but come on. It's like, whew, after my father passed and I was done caretaking the last of my parents, I thought, yoo-hoo, after I grieve, which I'm just starting to get my head a little above water, I can do whatever I want for at least 10 years. And it's like, no, you can't. That's so unfair. But I wouldn't change it. So this is this beautiful vintage periwinkle blue beads. Some of you may have seen this elsewhere, and that's okay. The person who was selling it was really underselling its value, and they knew it when they sold it to me. These are glass. Or are they ceramic? Now, hold on. Don't say that. That may not be. That's not fair. I got to tell you what. Okay, so this is doubled. My computer is doing the webcam thing where it decided to get dark. And now it decides to get light. I don't know why it does that. So they feel like glass. They absolutely feel like old, Italian glass. They're very heavy. They could be ceramic, but I don't think so. So that's what I got. It is on cord, the old cotton, sometimes satin, but this is cotton, white thread. There's a piece of it right there. It's the most beautiful color, and then gold spacers, and it just feels like butter. There is no clue here on the clasp about a maker or anything else. But what I will tell you is beads like this, old vintage Italian beads, not just wedding cake or lamp work, are super collectible and are selling really high right now. So while $45 might seem like, what the heck is she talking about? I'm actually talking about the reality of how much things cost. Oh, I've been starting to take a B11 like every other night, Rose. So look how long this is. I can't even, so if I had this on, it goes around and it falls about an inch above my belly button. About an inch above my belly button. And this is just one of those super special pieces. I think you could wrap this 3 times, especially because it has a clasp. And it is a very unusual color. And each one of these, because they're handmade, they're just a little tiny bit different from each other. Beautiful. Okay, there you go. I'll put it in a bag and move on. How's that? Taste of honey. That is a very interesting idea. And Rose, I'm not an evening person anymore either. That's another thing. Oh boy, I used to stay out all night long and dance, and I mean all night. The club or the little bar with all the local bands in Berkeley were famous for like everyone. I mean, I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, Green Day, you name it, when they were like local bands at tiny little clubs, and they would play till 2 a.m, and then there would be an after show. And so I would dance until 5 a.m. and then crawl home and sleep till, noon and get up and be fine. Not anymore. I go to bed at like 7. I fall asleep about 9 and I'm good. And I'm good. I don't know. But I do, the thing I find, I'm waking up earlier. I'm starting to do that, wake up at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, can't go back to sleep thing. Ugh. Super don't like it. But, oh well, I mean, if I'm going to bed early, maybe I've had enough sleep, right? So these start at $28. Vintage, I've talked about these. The carnelian might be vintage, and the moonstone, because the moonstone has so much blue, which never comes across correctly in this light no matter what I do. It would in a light box. There's some flashes, but the moonstone here has a ton of blue. The carnelian is gorgeous, gorgeous. I believe these could have been vintage stones re-wrapped and reworked into these earrings that are about almost 2 inches long. See this carnelian? See how it's cut? You can actually see all the little, let's see. Let's get it. See all the little cuts? So either it's a newer cut of carnelian in this beautiful dark orange, or it's an older piece, and like I say, it was wire wrapped to be in these earrings. They're really pretty. Starting at 28. Okay. I have a bunch of this type of stuff and some brooches. I'm going to show a brooch now. I'm kind of giving you, and then I'll show some jabbit pins from the 1920s. I'm kind of giving you a taste of what I have. So if you are interested in something particular, you're like, you know what, I am really looking for this. I love brooches. I'm looking for the Kate Spade charm bracelet that I have over here. I, love brooches. Whatever it is, tell me, and perhaps I can bring it up. This is really, really incredible. So, but I'm going to bring it down a little bit in price. At this price, I'm not entirely sure how much I'm making anymore. So this is this, I will take it out of the box. It is this beautiful filigree, individually worked pieces of wire and enameling on this butterfly brooch. So I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to take this out of the box, and I'm going to, change the ring light. The ring light was not helping anything. This butterfly is fantastic. It is a more modern one. It is not, from the 1940s or 50s. The pin back does come just out. So I'm thinking early 70s. It is very big. And I'm thinking it's a scarf pin because it's so big. So it is not sterling silver, but you see each little wire piece. Each one of those was hand wrapped and put in, and hand wrapped and put in, or hand wrapped on a continuous basis and put in there into the frame of this butterfly. These pieces here, hand wrapped. And then the enameling, look at the green down there. Can you see how it has light and dark and white? And it actually has circles going up it with a little kind of bump in the middle to make an actual like abdomen. And then the same, it's hard in winter. The light is hard, y'all. The same thing is happening here on the wings. Do you see how they have like multiple swirls with white in the middle? Kind of like a peacock wing or something. They're not just one blob of color. Same with the blue on the top and the browns and the ones on the bottom. So it's actually pretty complex and beautiful. And it's a big one. I would wager that this, and it's the light in the winter. It's just this time of year for about a month. And I could throw another ring light in here and that would help, but it would also just blow things out. So the wingspan going up sideways is 2 inches. And across at the top is 3 inches. And at the bottom, almost 2. So it's a big one. And yeah, I would use it. I mean, you could just wear it as a regular little brooch. It's absolutely beautiful. It would make a great holiday gift to someone who loves butterflies. And it does it? Yes, it does. Ooh, look at me. See? Check this out. There you go. This is what I get. I knew this, and then I was like, no, and there goes my ruler falling down. Then I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right at all. But it is right. This is Rose. You gotta love me. This is sterling silver. Good Lord. It is sterling silver. So first off, there's that. That's why it looks the way it does. It is sterling silver. And then, I can't read the maker or what the rest of it says. See down here, sterling silver, and then there's some other information there. So see, I'm just totally out of my mind. And I thought so, because it's so, I remember paying at least this, if not more. So that is sterling silver wire work. And it's very similar to the old Italian sailboats, flowers. I have a lot of those pins, and they're very intricate. And I just don't find that they sell, so I've stopped bringing them for now. Okay. Butterflies going back, but if you change your mind or if you know someone who would love a butterfly for Christmas, let me know. And it's sterling silver, so here I am blowing it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show some new Jabbit pins. I showed a couple already out of the collection that I bought, like this one. This is one of my favorites. That's why, and these are from 1910 and 1920. And a Jabbit pin is the bottom unscrews. You stick in the top and you poke it back out and you screw it like this. And you wore it on those cravat scarves that both men and women were wearing at the turn of the century. Okay. It used to be just men wore them. And then it became the fashion for both sexes later on. Sorry, this is in a box. Ooh, look what else is in this box. My good Lord. Just found 3 micro mosaic brooches. Oh my God. I have jewelry coming out of my ears. Okay. Wow. This one's impressive. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Jeez Louise. All right. This is the back. You can see how it's got the lines. I believe this is lucite. This one. There's the bottom. It has almost some opalescent. That's the back. And you see So it is lucite, but it is similar to how they then started using Bakelite all the time, where there's more than one color that runs through these. So they start with the black and then they put the cream over top. And then they added all these rhinestones sunk into the molded lucite and rhinestones at the bottom. And so this would just go in that, either women kind of wore almost more like a plain necktie a lot, and men wore the more puffier ones. But they came to a thing here and then they spread out, they fanned out in pleats. And so this, along with a small pair of earrings, would be your whole outfit. Maybe you had a ring or something, but this was your outfit. And God, these are just incredible. I didn't know about these except for watching things like Downton Abbey and Uptown, Downtown, The Gilded Age. But I still didn't know they work like this. So see here, I took the bottom off, and that is literally a screw. And it's just, this is a piece of what looks to be maybe brass. I don't think, maybe copper. It's hard to tell, but I would think brass because copper would leave a sheen. And then here's the bottom. And you just take it and screw it back on. Isn't that cool? And I would be gentle with these. This one has the smallest little split right there. I think if I had these, this would go in a shadow box, or it would go on something wherein you never unscrewed it again. It's just, I mean, it's over 100 years old. So there's one. So let's put that one down. Oh, let's see what else. Oh, Lord. Okay. This is the heaviest one. And besides that pearl one, I think it's my favorite. This is, y'all, let me know if you're out there and if you are appreciating looking at this, or if you're like, this doesn't do anything for me. This one is blowing my mind. Thank you, Rose. So there's the rhinestones sunk in to metal on this one. This is like heavy. I'm not going to call it pot metal. It almost seems like steel, because I'll show you the rivets in the back. So the top and the bottom are the same on this like deep green one. Nightmare. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you. God, good Lord, Nightmare. My God, you need like blankets and dogs and tables and fires and heaters and kerosene lamps, and I don't even know. Good Lord. Now, that is Fahrenheit, not Celsius, right? Oh my gosh. Nightmare. It makes me want to come up there and give you blankets. I'm serious. Oh my God. So here it is, and you can see this lucite that's carved, so similar to Bakelite. You know, I didn't test any of these, but I have questioned the Bakelite issue. They were sold as all lucite. So I'm assuming the person that sold the collection tested them. Even see right back there, those two little scrapes. I think someone tested to see if that might be sterling silver. I never would have assumed this is sterling silver, but whatever. So here is where they screwed the lucite onto the metal. Tiny little divot. And actually, I'm saying screwed. I think it was soldered. This was soldered and it went through. This is a little loose. It always has been. And that is why there's this one little space there. I think it happened when they soldered and put through the metal pen. But isn't that incredible? These are about, well, let's be exact, except that my razor just fell down. Yeah. Ghostified. Thank you, Nightmare. But good Lord, Nightmare. Hi, Ghostified. How's it going? You came back. I hope you enjoy tonight. It's a little bit different than last night. So it's just a touch over 3 inches. Just a touch over 3 inches. And again, it does the thing. Which side is which? This. Where it unscrews right here. And I'm not going to do it all the way. It unscrews and comes off. And you put it through your cravat scarf or your kind of pleated necktie, man or woman. And this one's heavy. And I'm so sorry. What did I do? This one started at 40. God, it's beautiful. Okay. How are you, Ghostified? You said the nicest thing to me last night. That was really, really sweet. And yeah, I don't know how I came across your feed, but I'm happy to hear that I did. Okay. And, oh, wow. These are just killing me. Is this the last one? No, there's one more. Woo. Okay. This one. So think about these because just think about them. If you know anyone who loves their vintage, these are over 100 years old. And I guarantee you that someone who loves vintage is going to love this. Oh, my Lord. Here's the back. And these are men and women. Here's the back of this one. And it is, again, a cream with some light brown to accent it. I do not know what that square is there for, nor that little whatever that is. Nope, not a clue. It's not like someone sticking it with a pin or anything. It's whoever made this. Maybe it's their jeweler's marks. I don't know. Look at this one. Man. So good. And again, they're all just about 3 inches. And you just wear them with my name right there. Why do I keep forgetting to do that? They would just go right here on your scarf. I mean, the condition of these for as old as they are, I think is really outstanding. So this one's $29, and I'm not going to unscrew it and do all that stuff. I don't think, and I have got SIP in here right now. Nope. Oh my Lord. Okay, this is, sorry, y'all. Yeah. I dropped one because I thought this was empty. And here I am dropping not one, but two. Okay, y'all. I'll be right back. I have to get down on the floor to pick them up. Not an option. Oh, my Lord. Well, y'all know, if you've been following me at all, how much my back enjoyed that. Not at all. As long as I'm doing this and getting up. There you go. I am turning off the fan because it's getting dark and it's cold. Wow. So, because I know there's one more in there. I forgot how many came in this collection. Golly, this is just... Okay. Sorry about that. Where is the... Oh, this one goes like this. Uh-huh. Okay. So, this can also start at 29. This one is a little smaller. This beige kind of cream color obviously was very popular. Probably because it would go with any other color. The 1910s and the 1920s, men wore like black suits, but they had fancy ties if they were rich, right? Women wore a lot of color unless they were in mourning. So this would go with your black suit and your tall hat, or with multicolored dresses. And this is, again, one of those pieces like I showed with the green and blue one a couple weeks ago, where it's cream and a olive green behind it. Then it's got the rhinestones and the teardrop rhinestone. It reminds me of a harp, actually. And here is the back. Now, this one, I'm actually going to drop this to $25 because these are all handmade, hand carved, hand cut by people, over 100 years ago. But this coming all the way up to here, it might just be the way that it is, but it seems a little rough. And then the bottom also seems as though it screws on, it stays on, but it seems as though something is missing. So I just 25 seems better. I really don't expect people to be wearing these. I expect people to collect these and use them in shadow boxes like I do with a lot of my antique jewelry. And it does have deliberately darker blackish gray lines on both sides with that cutout. Good grief. I had no idea I was getting into all of this. Okay. And I will leave this one will be... Are y'all bored to tears? Talk to me, Seymour. Now, this one reminds me more of celluloid. It's very much similar to a celluloid brooch that I have. The shape is of a flower. See that? And the pin is put up into this piece, which is covered. And then here's the bottom. This, I feel like this would be a mourning jabot, a piece that you wore in the year that you mourn. With the rhinestones, you can see the carving divots on the edges. There. See that? And again, it's just, it might be copper, but I really think more brass because I feel like copper would be too flexible and bend too much and leave a filigree. And I don't see any green filigree. So look at that shape. That's really sexy. Yeah. So here's this one. They're all about 3 inches long. Okay. There is one more or two more in this box. I was not intending to show them all tonight. Oh, there's two more, but here we go. I'm showing them and then I'll bring them back one at a time. I kind of like to parcel my things out that I show. So that I have really interesting stuff as a surprise. But this is my very first time since I bought this at least a month ago, I think a little longer, in actually looking at all of them. So all of us that are here are seeing it all together. And then I will move into some micro mosaic brooches and necklaces. This is so pretty. This one is a tinier one. I think this one is just about 2.5 inches. And this is supposed to be, this one is a little loose. Not sure why, but it's 100 years old. That I want to look at this. It's true. That's it. And this is exactly what I was thinking. I don't think this is lucite. I mean, the person said that, but this has all the hallmarks of very old mother of pearl. These are vintage mother of pearl, but more like, 60s, 70s. But this is mother of pearl, and it's yellowed. Look at the back. Do you see the pinks and blues? In there, you may or may not. But this is yellowed, aged, carved mother of pearl. Look at the bottom piece. It's gorgeous. And this one's probably, like I said, 2.5 inches. So pretty. Definitely not lucite. And this one is clearly steel. Okay, this is something totally different. I never do this. I never show everything like this all at once because I like to parcel it out. this is a hat pin. I don't know why they're calling this a jabbit. Maybe it is. And maybe because I don't know a lot about jabbits. I mean, what I know, like I said, maybe silver because it's maybe, but I think in the lot that was sold to me, the person would have tested it. So, but I could still test it. So I could be totally wrong in this. This could be a jabbit. It is a plastic. It is not glass. So is it a lucite? I don't know. Look at the way it's put on to the pin. And look how long it is. And then it has that traditional stick pin. Now let's look at that. Let's find out. Well, I'll tell you this. This is a modern cap for a stick pin. Okay. This is your 70s stick pin or something, super modern, although these were generally made like this in the 70s. They were very popular. I had stick pins all over my jean jackets. But the bottom of this is rusty from being spun, and it is a sharp point, but it's a screw. There's screw threads right here. So therefore, it's a lady's, or I guess a gentleman's, very long jabbit, or maybe a hat pin. I don't know about hat pins, so I don't know. But this is really cool. And this one, it starts at 23. It is not modern. It is definitely very old. I have no quarrel with that whatsoever. Let's see how long it is. It's a beautiful blue. It's a fraction short of being 5 inches. And I think it's gorgeous. So could put it, see that just blows everything out. Could put it in your hat, or you could put it on your scarf. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Okay. So that is my collection of jabbit pins. All right. I have 3 more that I've already shown. I have a lot of them. I'm going to put them all back in this box real quick, and they will be coming out and be shown, 1 or 2 at a time until they're all sold. And I'll tell you what, if they don't sell here relatively, within the next month or 2, tops, I'll take them over to another platform and do a live sale with them there, because they are antiques and they are worth what I'm asking. They're so cool. I mean, I paid up for this, don't I didn't, I got a good enough deal when I can make a little bit of money, but more than anything, I wanted to share the wonder and the coolness of what the heck jabbit pins are that are 100+ years old with all of you and with myself. So that's what I did. Maria, did you fall asleep? And Ghostified, what is the temperature where you are? Because if you are A, in Michigan, and B, near the lake, it has to be cold. Yeah, they do. So cold, right? I figured as much. I mean, here last night, it only got down to around probably 40, which fantastic. So for the first time, I didn't make a fire for the first time in about 3 weeks in my wood stove. Tonight, same thing. We're getting in the fog, so maybe 43. So my dog has a blanket, and once I'm in bed, it's all good. Thank God. Okay, I'm going to show probably my most expensive item of the night, 24. See, 24, all I have is a wood stove in this open concept huge homestead house. So if it's 24, and it gets 24 in my valley, believe me, the wood stove will not keep up with 24. So it's all about going to bed and getting under all those delightful covers and staying there. I mean, staying there. And ice, we will get ice on the main little 2-lane highway here. But the one that goes up 1,000 feet and down over into like our city where box stores are and not much else. It's a really ugly little city as far as I'm concerned. It snows and it ices over. So when it's really cold like that, I wait until like noon. And if it snowed, I won't go over at all. So I try really hard to always have stuff in my deep freeze. Yeah. Yeah, because there are little grocery stores up here, but they're so expensive. So, I can and I freeze and I do all that. Yum, Rose. I'm just having a really good sandwich with tomatoes and lettuce. And and I have steamed cauliflower from last night on the side. Yep. But I love roasting veggies or sauteing veggies. And I'm not a huge meat eater. Okay. This is $88. It's only one. It is sterling silver. Here's the back. It is a single squash blossom. It has been stabilized, but turquoise has been being stabilized for a long time. Even, I think as far back as the 30s and 40s, because it's a very soft in terms of hardness. Turquoise is very soft. I have a bracelet, probably it was a Harvey House piece that was not stabilized. And you can see all the cracks and the dips and dings from wearing it because it wasn't stabilized. So this is a single squash blossom, sterling silver. Does it have an artist anywhere? It does not. Well, hold on. God, I can't believe those 3 micro mosaics in that box. It's a good thing I opened it because I totally forgot they were in there. Okay. No artist signature. But, I'm going to go with probably Pueblo on this. I don't know enough. It could be Dene or Navajo. There is quite a crossover and then total distinction at the same time in their artwork. I would say this piece is at least 1970s, and I think older than that, and I'll tell you why I think that. Look at the artistry on this. The soldered dropped on balls, the carved here, the wound silver here, the bump up. It is a pendant. So it would have been on a necklace that probably had like maybe 3 in a row, maybe 5, maybe 1 here and some lower ones. The reason why I'm thinking possibly earlier than the 70s, let me wait for the light to focus on this correctly, is because of this particular turquoise. This is blue with very light copper. Turquoise has a copper. That's how you find turquoise, is near copper mines. Sometimes it has a little bit of like pyrite or fool's gold running through it, I think, but mostly copper. See, stabilized, what I mean is when it has that sheen across it and it's smooth with no natural dips or cracks, or that is because they put a stabilizer. Sometimes they even crush the turquoise into a pulp and then fit it into and put this stabilizer and create a whole new stone. And people don't know that. This looks to have been a whole piece that was just stabilized because of the matrix. So if you see no matrix, your turquoise very likely has been crushed and stabilized. There are all these different mines, and the blue could come from a place like, oh my Lord. I was going to say Blue Lake. I knew the name a second ago. Sleeping Beauty. But I don't know my mines. I know my mind, but I don't know my mines. I do know that a certain color, and you can't get Sleeping Beauty turquoise anymore, but I don't know that that's what this is per se. And let me tell you how long this is. This is a beautiful, special piece, and I will not ever go lower than 88. It is 2 inches long, and the piece of turquoise, yeah, that's like almost pyrite, and then at the top is the dark copper and a little bit on the bottom, and just like ocean blue. So pretty. The piece of turquoise itself, 3/4 of an inch long and 1/2 an inch wide. And the whole piece, yeah, 2 inches. And then if you have the silver of the squash blossom, 1 inch. Absolutely beautiful. So for your consideration, if I had a necklace with all of this on it and all the rest of it, talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, just so you know. This, all you need is a chain, and you've got a very special, beautiful piece that we should honor. We just had our day of thanks, right? So the people you need to remember on our day of thanks, which we should not even have, we should just have Indigenous Peoples Day, is the people who gave us the gifts of this, who we took America from. That's my spiel, and now I'll be quiet. Okay. You know, I'm just going to show this piece. As long as I've showed a very expensive piece like that. Where's this one? I'm going to show this. This is modern. This is incredible. I can get Dolly back here to help me. This is very expensive. And then I'll go, after this very expensive, I will go back down into the, 20s to $40 prices. Okay. I promise. But I guess because it's the holidays, or because I'm just feeling like you know, showing this stuff? I am. My channel, my choice. This starts at 215. It does. Speaking of the Dene and Pueblo peoples. So this is modern. I bought this at my county fair in August. This is the closure. This is not sterling silver. Okay. This is not sterling silver. There is the turquoise and the coral at the top, the beads, and you see how they're stabilized. And then you've got your turquoise chips, and this is spiny oyster, turquoise spiny oyster, and in between coral. I will show you some of the incredible pieces close up, and I want to show you the bottom of this. That is all spiny oyster. And the reason it's so shiny, it has not been stabilized, but it has been highly polished and treated to be very shiny instead of matte. So the lady who made this is Danae from a reservation that does not exist anymore. Well, oh, look at that. I have it backwards. God, I'm such a dodo. The reservation kind of exists. It used to be women who, there you go. God, what a dummy. That is the magnificence. There, what a dummy I am. Look at that. Her mother lived on a reservation that the government tried to shut down. There's no running water, no anything. They raised sheep and carved the wool and made incredible weavings after making, the yarn, the wool into yarn. And there's a whole thing about that that you can look up historically. And they started working with a group that helped indigenous tribes to sell their goods so that they could have your basic modern conveniences. So she is Dene, which is Navajo, and she has relatives who are Pueblo. So the spiny coral was worked by her Pueblo relatives, and the turquoise pieces she bought in trade in New Mexico a long time ago. She said that she's had this for a long time. And I believe that because, again, you've got the super light blue. And this one has some this is such a hard thing to show individually. This one has some very obvious, even though it's stabilized, copper matrix pieces. And it has the natural places where, pieces came out, but they stabilized it so it won't come apart. These stones were natural chips that they just smoothed the edges and created beads. And it is stunning. And it really is $215. Spiny oyster like this is so expensive. The turquoise is a brilliant, incredible turquoise. And then these pieces here, let's move the computer back. Sorry. These pieces, the round ones, are also spiny oyster, carved into almost like a little button. And then in between coral and turquoise beads. $215. And it is heavy. It is heavy, and it is probably 30. Let's see if I put it up like this. It's about 30 to 32 inches long. It's so, and look at the purples in there. Unbelievable. So I have this. I have another piece that's Gaspar and green turquoise. Totally different. It's cheaper, but I will show that on another day. I just somehow showing the squash blossom, I was like, well, let me show that. I mean, talk about a holiday gift for someone special. Is wow, right, Rose? Wow. It's like I spent a lot of money buying that, and I am not making very much at all in reselling it. But I saw it and I was so captivated, and I was like, I have to buy this. Even if I hold on to this for a year or so, someone out there wants this. I mean, I want it. It's just I can't wear really heavy things on my neck anymore, or I would rock that piece. Like the community holiday dinner at the Grange is happening. It's either Saturday or Sunday night, and also my community holiday bazaar is happening tomorrow. Good Lord, that's tomorrow. So I'd be wearing that piece, but it's just gonna pull on my neck and give me a headache. But somebody, yeah, somebody needs that. Somebody wants that. And I made sure to get this beautiful, she was traveling with her family. Their last name is Furcap. And I made sure to get her information such that if I can actually sell the 2 pieces I bought, I would order a couple more pieces from her. And I mean, I'm literally making like $15, but they're just so lovely. So there you go. I'm done ranting and raving about that. Let's do something less expensive. How's that? Now that I've been way up there in the prices, let's go down. Let's go down to something more reasonable. If I can open the bag. Look, my dog is lying right over there near me. The cat is probably like, what's wrong with you? Where are you? Okay, so this just says, these are drops. I don't know why, this is this little place that donates to eyesight for children and adults in other countries in the city that I buy stuff for. I used to buy it when I took care of my mother and then my father all the time. I used to go there. And now if I can go down to the city, I make sure to swing by all my honey holes, and this is one of them. These are beautiful. I would say these are a stamped cutout copper with AB orange stones and that little fleur-de-lis drop. I think these were made in the 70s based on the back. They're beautiful and they're really long and elegant. They would match my skin tones and what I'm wearing right now really well. And they really make a statement while not being like totally in your face. That necklace is a whole statement. The jabot is a whole statement. These are a statement, but you can also, see the whole person, if that makes any sense. So here's the back. These are about 2.5 inches long. They are pierced earrings. I'm sure these are replacement caps. But you see what I mean about how it's just stamped out metal? Now, we also talked about how they were stamping out metal for jewelry even at the turn of the century. But based on how thin it is and the stamp work, I'm just guessing 70s. I could be totally off because it is open on the bottom. It is copper. They could be earlier, but to be safe, I'm going to stick with my statement. If I'm wrong and it's earlier, then great. There you go. So there, see, I have expensive to less expensive. And that's also a really good reason why starting in January, I'm clearing out my household, but I'm also going to be adding another day here with resellers. And I am going to be over on knickknacks or whatnot at least every other week because I have a lot of stuff that is very collectible, but it just doesn't seem to sell in this space. And that's okay. But for me to have a business model that works, that means I need to branch out. And I just sold something on eBay for the first time in a long time. That's fantastic. But eBay charges so much in fees now that it's not worth it. You know, I mean, it's Friday. It's my time. I have piles of these teeny tiny sterling silver rings with semi-precious stones. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, at least 12 just sitting right here. I've shown them. Nobody's interested. So I'm like, well, let me, do a show where I just do rings. I have incredible vintage plastic bangles and metal blankets. Blankets are on my mind. I want to give everyone a blanket. You get a blanket and you get a blanket. Yeah. Bangles, but different people. Yeah. Different people, want different things depending on where we are. So that's okay. How about this? I've shown this. I'm going to show this, and I'm going to show one I've never shown. We'll put it on Dolly. This, I have discovered exactly what it is, which is what I thought it was. So I used to have a ring on every finger, sometimes two, always one here and here, and then rings on my toes. And bracelets, they used to come all the way to here on both arms. Oh, and an anklet. So this is on Dolly. It's a toss-up if it's the late 30s, early 40s, or 50s. Okay, it's just a toss-up. Let me change the ring light or dim it or do something. This is rock crystal. Yeah, Rose, and I have all my mom's jewelry that I inherited that is not 100% my style, but I still love it. That I have not. It's sitting right over here, and I haven't been able to open the box yet, but I need to sell it. So maybe it would be better for me to sell it there where I don't know people and wouldn't be so emotional. So this is rock crystal. So what does that mean? It means it's clear cut quartz. Okay. There is a lot of quartz out there on necklaces, but this is clear rock crystal. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Ghostified. Here is the clasp. It is one that you do like that. So it's extra safety. That also really lets me know this is a fine piece of jewelry. And then you would take it out like that, which I don't need to do. And then you push it back in. It does not have a maker's mark. That's very common in older vintage jewelry. It is knotted between every bead on thick cotton thread. Each bead is cut incredible. I don't know the name of this oval kind of square cut, and they're in graduating sizes, getting bigger and bigger until you get to the bottom, and then it's turned like that for the pendant part. It is in the sun. Ooh-wee. Talk about rainbows. This is a really special piece. This is a black light, so it doesn't help in terms of throwing off rainbows. You know what I need? I need to keep a regular flashlight over here so that I can show you, because I'm not in a window, so that I can show you rainbows coming off of these. Look at this. And in between is these teeny pieces. And the knotting is a little irregular. I believe this is like from the 30s. I don't think it's 50s. I really believe it's older. And look at this huge. I mean, see how it's just totally see-through. So crystal is crystal, like chandeliers, right? But when you have a necklace with crystal, it's just usually not this clear. It's not clear like a crystal vase or a crystal chandelier. The bevels on this are amazing. Let me tell you how big the middle bead is and how long it is, and then we can move on. 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. And then 7. 9.5. It's like 18 inches long. In the sun, this would just blind people. They would think it was like diamonds. It is. So that means it's going to fall right here. Perfect, right? Imagine. Yep. Okie dokie. Oh, Rose. Rose, there you go, surprising me. Rose. Ow. Ooh, sorry. You know Noelle, right? You guys are doing the so fair warning. Rose is in at 34. If anyone else over my heart. Rose. If Rose is sneak attacking me. If anyone else, fair warning, wants to come in, you have to come in at 35 or higher. I put in fair warning and over your heart. I'm going to put in last call. It is a beautiful piece, Rose. So beautiful. The knotting is irregular, but I mean, if you know what it is, you know what it is. Yeah. Sold. Rose, I think it's perfect that it goes to you. Thank you, Rose. I do. I don't even know what you look like, but I can imagine you wearing this. And I tell you what, I'm going to get up because I want to make sure that this gets shipped in a actual necklace box and not just a bag. So therefore, I'm going to grab a box to put it in right now so that because I don't want any dings or dents. Even though it's quartz, I think it would be hard to do. But USPS, you know, arg, there's little moss in here. Oh no, Rose. I have Rose, I have tons of shipping supplies to do with jewelry. Okay. So that is what they are there for. I have little necklace boxes. So you're going to get one. Because that just gives extra padding. I don't know. I'm writing on the wrong line. That gives extra padding in case USPS, you know, does something stupid, because they do. Okay. How about another little less expensive item? I want this moth to come over here. Come here. I live in the country. I can't get it. I live in the country. I don't think that hi, Brittany. I don't think, thanks for coming in. I don't think that they're wool moths or whatever, but I don't have any idea, you know? So I'd rather they're not floating around. Okay, this starts at 14. How are you tonight, Brittany? So, taking out of its bag, 1950s, typical swedgeback, beautiful cream and light pastel green on the tips of this flower with this incredible stamen in the middle. This is the colors, there's so many of these out there, but the colors in this one, it's so simple, yet not simple at all because of the colors. Double layer. I think it's supposed to be like a poppy, but I've never seen a poppy nor any flower with green like that. But it doesn't matter. It's pretty dang splendid. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I love the middle. I love the middle. And the way they crimped the edges, they just did a really good job. And it's not on a stem. It's just a little different. 2.5 inches in diameter. 2.5 inches in diameter. 14. I mean, it's not shy. It's not tiny. Freesia. Oh, Freesia. Freesia is one of my top 5 favorite flowers. Freesia, status, roses, but old school roses. The ones that are the old breeds that actually have the different smells, you know, not these modern hybrid crap. In the neighborhood where my family home is, but it is no longer in the family. I still haven't been back to see it. Don't really want to. All the people around that area planted so many of those incredible roses. And other than the new people who have moved in and wanted to do new landscaping and tore them out, there's still a bunch that exist. However, However, it's right at the bottom of the East Bay Hills. And so there's tons of deers, and deers love roses. So you have to be really careful because they eat them up. Yum. My neighbor, really lovely man, him and his wife next door to my dad, and they had a lot in common. It turned out they bought the house and moved in, and it turned out they were basically in the same profession, which is unusual. I keep up with him via some Facebook posts, and he posted that this over 100-year-old rose, the deers had actually pulled it off the fence in order to eat all the roses. And as he pruned it back and put it back up against the fence, he kept thinking of pruning unnecessary things out of his life and how new life would grow from that. Yeah. See, Rose, exactly. The deer and all the bunnies. Up here, the gardens have to be fenced in or forget about it, veggie or otherwise. And I've got this is a huge copper cuff, y'all, for starting at 15. There's nothing on it. It's just a huge, wide copper cuff. I think it's about 2 inches wide, maybe 3. I also have a huge family of voles all around on my driveway and going down into the area where I want to garden. And it didn't matter before I officially owned this. I didn't do anything about it. But now I'm going to have to, and I'm not going to kill them. So that means I have to trap them and move them. I don't know where. Like, where am I going to move them? Down to the creek? Are they going to come back up here? I don't know. So I am a 7.25, and this is big on me. I could squash it down and make it tighter. It's a very thick copper, so it's not going to hurt it to do that. But based on how big this is, this would fit a man or a woman with large wrists. And I would say you could pull it this way and it would fit up to a size 8. A size 8. Let me tell you how wide it is. 2 inches. Yep. 2 inches wide. Yeah. And I want a big fenced-in garden right below my house. I'd like it next year, but I have to level the ground. I have to put all these traps out. It's a whole thing. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, maybe build it next year and do like half a growing season, and I can catch rainwater off my roof and then have the pipe just flow down right to where the garden is and just use that to water the garden. Yeah. Oh man, Rose. Yeah, groundhog voles, same thing, exactly. They come up under and they eat around the root system. They eat the middle, the cambium. And so it kills the plant because that's the most nutritious. It kills the plant, but leaves the plant up looking like it's alive. Oh my God. They did that to all my irises and whatnot that I had planted all along the front of my house. They've eaten them all. Yep. That's what they did. So let's show this. How's everybody doing? Is everybody okay? Is there something you want me to show? Anybody? How did this happen? I don't understand. My mouse pad is so sensitive. I can't. The amount of voles living underneath the driveway and the area where I want to put the garden in and everything at this point. There's like, the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? There's like a whole gopher family. Must be like, I don't know, 100 of them or more. It's going to be a problem. So this is a really cool enameled copper brooch, a la 1960s, 1970s style. And I mean, it is from the 1960s, 1970s. It is yellows, blues, kind of like a periwinkle, with some brown on a black base. Oh, yes, we do need a greenhouse. That too, Rose. I need a greenhouse for the winter. Like, for instance, right now I'm growing purple cabbage and Brussels sprouts. But even though they're a winter plant, it's going to start getting too cold for them outside. So I thought about doing a cover, like a crop cover. Here's the back. It was painted red, and then the pin back is just glued on. So, and it's about 1.25 inches, $13. Okay, thank you. So, Ghostified. Ghostified, you would like me to show that necklace. I can do that. Ghostified, where did I put it? And what did I start it at, Ghostified? I think it was like 36 or more. It was one of the first ones I showed. Hold on. 35. I don't think that one was 45. I think that was 35, Ghostified. Yep. Okay, we're in agreement on that. So there you go. 35. Yeah, I don't spend a long time creating all these spreadsheets and, doing recaps. And I'd rather spend my time talking with y'all. And then Ghostified has got the program. She's like, you know what? I went back to the beginning and I'm kind of interested in that. Could you show it again? And I'm like, yes, I can. So here is the basic spring clasp with jump ring. Here is this beautiful, I call it a key chain. I don't know why in the heck I call it that. I don't believe that's its real name. I think I made that up at some point. I love this design, and it's a nice, thick band. I just love the swirl of it. And it does not anywhere say sterling silver. It does say on the back of the lariat piece, patent pending. So patent pending is something that started in the 40s, 50s, sometimes the 30s, but really after World War II, because everyone was ripping off each other's patterns. So patent pending was a big deal then. So I'm early 50s. Otherwise it wouldn't say patent pending. So here is hold on, that's bugging me. Here's the fleur-de-lis lariat part. Stands up, more than 1/4 inch, probably not quite 1/2 inch. And then it has these pieces as long as you want. That is up to you. With these incredible, at the end, metal drop pieces. And this bumps up and is rounded and smooth. And the same thing on the opposite side. So they are like heavy kind of counterweights, kind of like a clock. This is just cut out on the metal to give it a design. It is not rhinestones. There are 2 of them. And then how can you bid? Well, that's a good question. And then here it says patent pending. I stared at that forever to see if it said 925 or made in Italy. Hold on, and I'll tell you how you bid because it's really simple. And then you can just pull it like that or pull it like that. And it is, I went through this before. I'll do it again. So Ghostified, as soon as I measure this, I will tell you. It's so easy. 7, 14, 16. Altogether, this is 32 inches long. So that means at 32 inches long, those hanging parts are going to be right about here. Okay. So, Ghostified, if you want to bid, you put in $35 and you need to send me an email by 8 o'clock tonight. I'm in California, so, whatever that time is for you, to mscwalker@att.net and say your name, Ghostified. Then below that, put your real name, shipping address with zip code, all in one line if you can, so I can copy it to my spreadsheet. And then below that, your PayPal email address. And that's it. So this is $35. So you put in 35 if you're interested. And then get that information to me by tonight. And if you want this in time for the holidays and you don't want to do the 2-week build-a-box, this is the end of week 1. The 12th would be the end of week 2. So I would not be probably mailing all the packages out until the 19th of December by the time everyone pays. So if you want it sooner, you can put that in your email as well. Okay. Because you may not want it. You may want this as a gift for yourself or someone else ASAP. It's unisex. There you go. 35. Look at that. 35. And because I've already shown it and no one else was interested and you went back and looked, it's pretty much an automatic sold. I mean, I already gave people a chance to bid on it. So that means that you don't have any competition. Look at that. Sold to you, Ghostified. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I love this piece. I think it's really special. Really special. Thank you so much. So it's sold to you. So just, I'll move that. There's my email again. Just send that on over. The information. And then, and let me know if you want this billed to you tomorrow so that I ship it early next week. Okay, honey? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for coming back. And thank you for appreciating what I'm bringing. That means a lot. My channel is a little different. Sometimes I have, 10 to 20 people here at once, and other times, because it's especially on Friday nights, there's so many people out there. I don't have hardly anyone. And my style on Fridays is to talk and show you and inform you and educate you and have you educate me if there's something that I don't know about pieces. And just to have like a wind down going into the weekend instead of just a boom, boom, boom sale. Thank you. High five. And don't forget to keep your blankets on, for crying out loud. First thing I'm going to do, I already made my sandwich and all that, but the first thing I'm going to do when I get done here, I already fed the animals, is make a fire in the wood stove before I go to bed. Even though I don't need it, I'm just going to take the chill off and then jammies and in my nice warm blankies. It is nice to have you here, Ghostified. It is nice to have you. I appreciate it. Choice, buy it now. So, Ghostified, buy it, BIN means buy it now, means it's a straight price. And you can choose, okay? Just in case you don't know, because you really may not know. Choice, buy it now, $6. These you can just picture at the cash register, at a gas station, or a hardware store where you had your keys made. This is new old stock. I've shown them maybe twice. I've had them stashed since I used to sell on eBay in a box. These are heavy duty 1960s key rings. This is plastic. It has the rondelle. The bottom is the rondelle with the rhinestones. And then it has the stamped metal, gold tone. And it is, I'll show you one at a time, see if you're interested in any. It is the heavy duty keychain where you undo that and this comes off the loop right there. So it's, and these are new old stock, meaning they've never been used. So they're super tight still. It's on the snake chain. So this is just a peach with like AB kind of thing cut out in a random shape with the rondelle. They are about 3.5 inches long. And I can't remember. Oh, yeah. And this one glows like crazy. So this is an older plastic. So yeah, 1950s, 1960s. And this literally used to go in a gas station. So that's one. So it'd be orange. You would put in orange. This is a cream with pink over the top. Same design. Plastic. Let's see if it glows. Nope, that one does not glow. So it is made of some different material. This one is really fun. This pink. It reminds me, they're all plastic, but this reminds me of a pineapple. Even though it's pink. And they're all the same on the top. Literally, do you all remember? Am I the only one that remembers the cards? And it would say like 50 cents at the top. And then you would just pull the one you wanted off of a piece of cardboard with like the kind of picture frame back holding it up. Hey, Kathy. Cool. That sounds lovely. Good for you. Thank you, Kathy. This one does not glow either. It's just getting washed out by the light, but I love the pink. Pineapple look, and it's really strong, and the latch is really strong. Yeah, I mean, these might have even been $1.25 back then. And this one is like a smoky gray. See, my computer keeps wanting to play with the light. A smoky gray with a purple tint. which is really hard to see. Hey, Tanya, how's it going tonight? How are you? I have not been able to pop in and see you for a while. That one doesn't glow either, but I love these. How is the room complete for the upcoming Blessed Treasure? And then there's just another orange with pink AB coating. Rondelle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your choice. You would just tell me which one you're interested in. New old stock keychains like you used to get at the gas stations. Yeah. Cool. Is the arrival here or is it still coming? I don't know. You don't even have to tell me, but I don't know. Such a wonderful thing. Such a wonderful thing. Thank you for looking, y'all. If you change your mind, you know where I am. Oh, wow. That's so exciting. That's so exciting, Tanya. So, Ghostified and anyone else who is here who does not know, Tanya sells incredible jewelry. She has a channel, and if you go to My Jewelry Addiction, if you look for that in YouTube, she sells on Sunday afternoons and I think, is it Mondays or is it Wednesdays when you do, no, Mondays I think you do the knick-knack paddywhacks. Is that right, Tanya? And anyway, she has fabulous stuff. So go check her out, please, and thank you. Tanya, you must be bursting with excitement. Okay. I think I'm going to do a couple more necklaces and a couple micro mosaic brooches. And then I'm going to close for the evening. 6:30? Yeah, that sounds about right. So let's see. I mean, I always say to you guys, ask me. Yeah, Tanya's lovely, Ghostified. You'll really enjoy her. She's a really great person. Yep. Really and truly. So this one is much older and it needs to start at $36. So here's the back, made in Italy. What that number is, I mean, I think it says 65 or 59, depending on how you want to look at it. I don't really know. So is that how much this originally cost? Maybe. I really don't know. Is it like for a number in an auction lot? I don't know. Made in Italy. It just, there you go. Brass. Look at the teeny tiny beautiful work on this one. This Italian micro mosaic brooch is it's a bar brooch. It's a really good one. So when it comes to micro mosaics, this is glass that has been inlaid carefully. And the smaller the pieces are, like in here, the harder it is to do, obviously. It can often take multiple firings to get this glass set onto the metal. And generally, this small of handiwork donates a older age because it's very hard. It also means it's worth more. And you see the beautiful wire filigree work here on the edge. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know how well that's showing. I don't feel. Maybe it's showing. Sorry about that. I feel like it was showing better this way. And my computer is doing that thing where it's automatically deciding if it should be bright or dark. Very annoying. Okay. And it is tiny. It is, God, it's beautiful. Does it have, I think it has one little piece missing right there, which is not unusual in this. I would say I'm just going to venture based on the fine filigree work with the wire and how small the glass is in here. I'm going to guess that this is at least 1950s, and I suspect much earlier. It is 2.5 inches long. I suspect it's much earlier. Okay. Thank you for looking. I am going to show. Ooh, this is pretty. This is pretty. And then after I show this, I think I'm going to show. I don't have any bracelets tonight. I think I'm going to show 3 more jewelry items and call it. I've got 2 people. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. It's Friday night. It's a hard one. And I'm hungry. So, okay. This starts at 33. Now, see, you can tell this one does not say made in Italy, but it is. They all essentially are. There, I mean, some artists here and all over the world know how to make micro mosaics. It's not, only Italy, but they often, especially with the newer ones and the tourist trade, just didn't get it stamped on there. It is not real gold. I sincerely doubt it. And this one is a newer one. I would say that this teeny tiny, see how it's tiny, but it's much bigger pieces than the other one, and how it's more shiny and all the rest of that. See, to me, this is 60s, 70s. It's still absolutely gorgeous. And I started the other one at 36. You know what? This one can be, hi, Patsy. It is, hold on a minute, please. I'm going to start this one at 28. Because I can do that. And it's newer. The other one is, I believe, verging on antique. That is just my humble opinion. This is still completely fabulous. And it is little, like a scatter pin. It is probably, an inch long and 3/4 of an inch wide. It's tiny, but it sure is pretty. Wouldn't that be nice to give to someone in their stocking? My daughter would love it. Okay, there's one more in there, but I am going to put it over here and bring it next week. Okay, So yes, hi Patsy. The butterfly is still available. What did I ask for the butterfly? There you go. Okay, Tanya, got you. I think that was so long ago, and it was towards the beginning. But I'll look. Wasn't that? It wasn't 45. I think Patsy, what do you think? Do you recall what I said? Because I think I started it, Patsy, at 28 or 30. Patsy. So because I don't write all this down and I don't keep it in my head. And so I'm going to go with that. It was $30, Patsy. Because I scrolled back up and 2 in a row, 28 and 30. So would you like it for 30, Patsy? Would you like to see it again? It's still in its case here. It is sterling silver. And it has incredible definition in the enamel. And it's a big one. And all the wire work. Patsy, are you still here? Patsy. Because I've already shown it. If you want it for $30, you need to say, yeah, $30, and then I'll sell it to you. Patsy. Uh-oh. I'm not seeing you because I'm not in new comments. Oh, my God. Not 26. 30. Okay. Yes. All right. Do you need to see it again, Patsy? And I will send it in its case. It's a really good one. I love the enamel detail. Okay. So, excellent. Okay. I can't type. It is beautiful, Patsy. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And I'm pretty sure that was the price. If it's a couple dollars more, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so glad you're buying it because it's gorgeous. And I'm not making much on it. So, it's the holidays. I want to pass on some love. Patsy, thank you, Patsy. Patsy, if you do not want to be caught in the 2-week Build-A-Box cycle, because this is the end of week 1, meaning that by the time I invoice after next week being week 2, I invoice and I wait for people to pay and I ship, it could be the 18th or 19th. Look at my camera deciding the color in here, the brightness. That is so annoying. It would not go out till the 18th or the 19th. If you want this by the holidays, please send me an email and tell me that. And then I will invoice you tomorrow and get this out early next week. Okay? So please let me know. I'm very mindful that the holidays are happening. How about if I'm going to try these earrings and I'm going to try a necklace. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I have not shown these yet. These are so pretty. Hold on. I got these Good Lord. I guess it's like, I can't believe it. Is it really a month ago already? I guess. That seems crazy. And of course, I didn't take the tag off right away. So here we are, stuck with me doing this nonsense at the last minute. Dead air. Sorry. This is only the second time I've ever wasted time like this, at least in a long time. So I apologize. So these are beautiful. I bought these at the Alameda Antique Flea Market from a woman who, I did not know this till after we walked away, used to sell at the Alameda Flea Market when my mother and I did back in the 70s and 80s. Yep. And so she really knows her stuff, and she was just offloading stuff. She's, older than I am, and she's getting out of the business. So she was getting rid of her last few things that she is not going to keep or wear, and her kids don't want. So look at these. These are incredible. This is a pearl. It is one pearl. It is super teeny tiny, like potato dumpling pearl. This leaf design on the brass is incredible. It has a wire wrapping around it. And I do not own a Presidium, so I have no idea if this is actual amethyst or glass. I will tell you that, let me look at it through my loop. Yeah, Rose, absolutely. I was very fortunate, and I am fortunate. I don't see any inclusions of any kind. It definitely has the color of a deep purplish brown amethyst, but I'm gonna say it's glass because I'm just learning those, and I don't want to say it's something when it's not. And then it has brass that's been blackened poking out here. Very Asian vibe, right? There's two of them, obviously, and they are clip-ons. There is no maker. I think these are quite old. What do I mean by that? At least 50s, perhaps older. She did keep on the comfort items, but you could take them off. Good night, Patsy. I'm about to go as well. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for purchasing that. And do send me an email if you want it before the holidays. And there you go. They are about an inch in the circle, but then they're kind of like a magical eye or something. I suspect they're not American. I would, you know what I would do if I had these? I would take them to a jeweler and have them take the clip off. It's essentially just glued on, and have them solder a post because they're not that heavy. And then I would just wear them. Yep. Okay. There you go. So they have made their debut now. 24. And I think 50s, maybe 60s, and I do not think American. And they're real pearls. So it does beg the question, is it real or man-made amethyst? Maybe. I don't know. You would. Okay, Patsy. I will make a note of that. But I'd really also like you to send me an email just to back that up, because I have a long logbook of stuff. So let me get rid of this. If you just, my email. If you just drop me an email, that way I'll be absolutely sure to do it tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to show one last necklace. And then I'm going to go make a small fire just to take the chill off. And then I'm going to go upstairs and have dinner. This is gorgeous. So hold on. See, these are all things I bought over a month ago. And I'm just now, because I have a ton of jewelry. Not literally a ton, but sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes it definitely feels like that. Oh, Lord. And, wherever I got these from, they were all different places, but these really simple tags that they like to use, and I don't blame them. If you don't take them off right away, or if they've been in the store and this particular tag has been on there for a while, they're so hard to get off. This is old and this is freaking beautiful. I suspect that I don't know as much about this piece as I should. I suspect that there may be an actual name for this type of rose, for this type of abalone. It is all hand cut pieces, kind of in the shape of a tree branch, a spike, in this like collar style necklace. I'm going to take it off Dolly. This is my friend Dolly, and show you. And it is definitely vintage. I've never, usually you don't see the brown color. And that's why I'm very curious if it has a different name. Here is the kind of lobster claw clasp. Oh, wow. Rose. There's a kind of lobster claw clasp. There is something written on the edge of that clasp, I think, right over here. If it says 925, it says 925. That would just be the clasp, because it is strung on cotton cord. I would say this is abalone / mother of pearl, whatever you want to call it, with the natural brown tones from the 60s, maybe the 70s. Yeah, very. Now, clearly it does that, but when it's on you, it doesn't, because it needs to be on and then it lays flat, right? That is a thing that makes these types of things hard to show, because it does lay flat when it's on. You just have to kind of mess with it, and then it stays lying flat. So what I'm going to do is put it on. That in a tan. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And I think that lobster claw may say 925, but I mean, what does that mean? It's just a clasp, and it is that older lobster claw kind of spring loaded. So, but this was so popular starting in the 60s. I can't say it's older than the 60s, and very much so in the 70s. See, that's the thing. Once it's on, you have to kind of turn the pieces so they all lay flat because they've gotten twisted around, right? And then you have this incredible art piece that you're wearing. But you have to play with it, and it's my last piece. So it is about 17 inches, and it is like a collar. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It is muted in some ways because they left the natural brown tones. But I love that. And even the brown is polished and has a lot going on. It's kind of almost gold. I shouldn't say brown. It's more like golden. It's not really brown. It's golden. And it's heavy. I cannot tell you how many. Let's do a quick guess just because it's the end of the night. Why not? 5. There's probably 100 of these pieces on here. So just the value in that, and the artisan who carved this out and made this piece. My goodness me. Beautiful. Yep. Okie dokie, everyone. Well, and this is my time when I say, if you just came in, I'm done for the evening. You can always watch the replay. I don't do recaps. You can take a moment and go put your settings on 2 times, so you'll be super fast. And then drop in the chat that you're interested in an item and see whether or not it has sold. And there's a lot of things I haven't shown, like this incredible piece, which I showed 3 weeks ago, maybe. Mexico, Texaco, grape brooch, Texaco silver. These glorious blue milk glass confetti and rhinestone clip-on earrings. Yeah, a lot of stuff. But they'll have to wait for another night. These multiple colored purple, gray, pink, and green drop pearls. I think there's a dozen on each one. Gold tone, possibly gold coated, are $28 for the pair. Beautiful. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, Rose, I had a good time too. Thank you for being here. I will see everyone later. I will probably be around in some chats tomorrow. Well, no, the holiday fair is tomorrow. So maybe, and maybe not. And then Sunday I have my MRI for my back. So maybe in the evening I'll be around. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your purchases. There's quite a bit left. Please look at the 1900 to 1920 men and women's Jabbit pins at the beginning. I showed all of them. Absolutely incredible. And there's my email. Email me. And if you want it before the holidays, I'll do it. I'll invoice you tomorrow, but you got to claim tonight. Okay. Good night, everyone. Take care. Stay warm.